Okay, so Paul starts here and he says, we need to live out our faith. We need to live out our faith. And the first thing he talks about here is the unity of the church. We've hit on this, right? We've hit on this pretty hard already in Ephesians. But he comes right back to it. And so he says, part of living your faith is being completely humble and gentle. Now, in Greek thinking, humility was something to be avoided. All right? You should want to be the top dog, and you in Greek thinking, and you should fight to be the top dog. That was the Greek thinking. But in Christian thinking, we're supposed to lift others up. What happens when you lift others up? Yeah, but you end up where? You end up below them, right? When you lift somebody up, you end up below them. And that's okay in the Christian life. That's what the Christian life is supposed to look like. But he also talks here about gentleness. And gentleness is not about weakness, but gentleness is choosing to treat others with self-restraint. Okay, so give me some examples of treating others with self-restraint. Well, self-restraint would be like not saying something you feel like saying, right? Not doing something you feel like doing. Not striking out at somebody when you feel like striking out at them. And he says that's part of what living the Christian life is about. It's about lifting others up and self-restraint. He goes on here and he says, be patient, bearing with one another in love. Now, patience means long suffering. You can probably figure out that definition. It means you're willing to suffer a long time. You're willing to suffer a long time. And it's the opposite of having a short fuse. And bearing with one another in love means putting up with one another because we are commanded to love. Have you ever just had to tolerate somebody in the church? When you were doing that, did you realize you were doing the biblical thing? Well, Kenneth Bowles, in his commentary on Ephesians, he goes through these things and he summarizes how these are steps to maintain unity. And he includes the phrase, make every effort, from verse 3. So this is how he describes it. Humility, I might be wrong. Gentleness, I'm willing to listen and change. Patience, I'll give you time to think it through. Bearing with, I'll put up with you even when we disagree. Make every effort. I really want this to work. So that's how he described as this is lived out in the relationships within the church.